Hi there everyone, welcome back to STEM Lockdown Digital School. This is grade 12 IT and I am your presenter Lalani Lagransi. So today we're going to continue with the supplementary paper of 2019, which you can download looking at the education.gov.za website and looking for the May-June 2019 papers. Question 2 deals with the databases. So first we just need to have a look at the table's layout. As you can see, plant code here is a text data type and it says it's a unique code, so therefore it means it is the primary key. Then you have a description and a category, size of the pot, also a text. Note the examples there of what it could be, and then the color, which is text, and then the price and currency, and in stock as an integer number. That will hold the number of plants in stock at the moment. Here we just have an example of our data in the table. And here is the second table. This one is using an auto number as their primary key. There's an invoice number and here is a plant code. And you can see here it says it's the foreign key. That means it's the field through which the tables are linked. And the one that we are looking at here is what I call the child table. So one plant can have many orders, and then just the number of plants ordered and delivered. This is just the example of the data in this table. And then at the bottom there you can see your one-to-many link. This is the table that I call the parent table, and one plant can have many orders. This would be the field through which we are linking through. So 2.1 is our SQL section. So press pause and try 2.1.1 yourself. This would be your easy question for 3 marks. So all we had to do here was display all the fields. So we're going to use select all. And it's from the table TBL plants, which you were told in the question paper, but only where the category was rows. Now remember, category was a text data type. Therefore, rows needs to be between these double quotes. Now try question 2.1.2. Make sure that you are seeing both flowers and roses, and also that you find colors that contain pink and not only pink. Press pause and I'll show you the memo soon. Very important is that you only display the fields that you are asked to display, no more or no less, or you will lose that mark. All these fields that we are working with are all in the table TBL plants, so we just have to read from TBL plants. I can use an in operator in SQL on text data types, unlike the one that we have in Delphi that can only use ordinal data types. Just make sure that you don't put an equal sign there, and that our in operator here has round brackets and not square brackets. And since category is a text data type, we will put the values there in quotes. So the category can either be flower or rose, and I will show that record. Added to that is that the color contains pink. So remember the like, we don't put equal signs here. We just have like, and then inside of these quotes here, we are going to put pink and percentage signs before and after the pink. That means contain pink. So any number of characters before pink or any another number of characters after pink, and my record will show if it is a flower or a rose. Here is question 2.1.3 for 5 marks. Now remember, if you watch some of the previous videos, the question as well as this output is giving us a clue as to what we need to use. We are asked to calculate the average, that's an aggregate function, per category, and we're displaying the category field. So I'm displaying a field and I have an aggregate function, and that indicates to me that I have to use a group by, and the group by is always on the field or fields that you are displaying, not on the aggregate function. And the average price should also be displayed in currency, so make sure you add your formatting there. Press pause and try it yourself. So I'm displaying the category and the average price. Note my formatting, where I use the first argument is what I want to format, and that's my average price, comma, And then in double quotes, I'm putting currency, not FF currency as in Delphi. For SQL, this is currency only in double quotes. And there's my heading or my field name, average price from table plants. And remember, when we want to display a field and we have an aggregate function, we need to group by category. So category is the field that I display with the aggregate function, and I'm calculating the average per category. So that's why I have my group by there. Here is question 2.1.4. Press pause and try it yourself. It's maybe a good time just to go back to the table layout to make sure that you're reading from the correct tables. The description will appear in the one table and the number ordered in the other, together with the invoice number. So this is time to read from both tables. So here are the fields that I am displaying. Also make sure that you put them in the same order as in the screenshot. So the invoice number goes first, then the description, and then the number ordered. And I'm reading from both tables, both TBL orders as well as TBL plants. And when we're reading from both tables, the first thing we need to do in our where is indicate how the tables are linked. And they are linked through the plant code field. And since the plant code field appears in both tables, I need to precede them with the name of the table, a dot, and then plant code. It does not matter whether you're putting TBL orders or TBL plants first, as long as you indicate the link in here. And then if we have another condition, when we're reading from both tables, we will first put the condition, always followed then by an and the rest of our conditions. Now, invoice number was a text data type, and we were required to only show the fields F2. So that's what I'm doing in here. I am just searching for invoice numbers that are F2, and remember the double quotes because invoice number is a text data type. And here is the last question, question 2.1.5, which is update. Read carefully and press pause. I'll show you some more output just now. So the top example here shows you before the change was made, and you can see that the number ordered and delivered are not the same. And what you are required to do is to update the number of delivered to the same number as what was ordered as per the input from the user. Press pause and try it yourself. So here I have the input from the user. I'm keeping it as a string, even though it's a number, because if I store this as an integer, I would have to string to int here, and then I have to int to string again on this side. So for that reason, I just keep my input from the user as strings, unless I have to do some form of validation with the integer number. So we're going to update, and remember to study the structure of update. It's update and then the name of the table that I want to update, then set and then the name of the field that I want to update, assign to, so I'm changing the number of delivered field to the number ordered field, where the item is equal to what the person entered. And remember, item num was a number data type, so therefore I don't need any quotes or quoted string around the input from the user. Just make sure that your variables always appear in black and the rest of your SQL code should appear in blue. This is quite a lengthy question 2.2.1. So read this part, press pause, read the next part and see if you can accomplish this code. As you can see, we are asked to determine if there's enough stock available for the order placed. If there is enough stock, we have to display the following, and if there's not enough stock, we need to display a message showing the number of plants that is available in stock. Then we have to ask the user if they want to continue to place the order with the amount of stock available. And then if they do want to place the order, we have to do the following, and if they don't want to place the order, you have to do the little bit at the bottom. Write the code and I'll show you the examples of output. There are quite a few. Here is our first set, that is 125 plants are ordered with this code. from the creeper category, and there was enough stock so this could be displayed. Then if 225 plants were ordered for this code here in the creeper category, then we had to display that there is only 183 plants available, and do they wish to continue with this order. You can see 183 is displayed in this input box, and then the display at the bottom. And then the last is if they have the same input as the example above, but here it is saying that they don't want to continue with the order. So you just have to display order cancelled, and remember to disable and enable the buttons as required. So we need to loop through this table. So we're going to start with TBL plants.first. Some input has been provided for the plant code as well as the number of plants they want to order. So for this question, they provided us with some inputs. That's the number of plants ordered as well as the plant code that we're going to search for. Then you're going to start with your TBL plants.first and a while not end of table. You can't see it at the moment, but at the bottom here you also have your .next, and make sure that it is not part of one of your if statements. The first if statement here is just searching now for the plant code in each record, and if I find the correct record, I then test with the second if statement if the number in stock is greater or equal to the number ordered. That means that the order is possible, and I was required to display the plant code, the color, as well as the number ordered by this person, and then the price per item, which I can find in the price field. Now, very important that when you are displaying a field that is a number, that you do use your floater string F or your int string. And in this case, I want to show it in a RAND format. So that's why I'm using floater string F with the field name here, and then FF currency showing 2 decimal places. Then the next part was also to enable your button question 2.2.2. So that's the last line in this if statement. Now, if there was not enough plants in stock for the number they ordered, I then have going to code inside of the else. I have a long begin and end here because I first have to display to the person that there was only a certain number of plants in stock available. Then I needed to ask them if they wanted to continue. So my message here is displaying, do you want to continue? But it's also displaying the number of plants available in stock. That is the maximum that they can order at the moment. My if statement here is now testing if the person entered a Y, that they want to continue with the number of stock available. My number ordered has to change because they can only now order what is in stock. So I have assigned the value that is in stock at the moment in the active record in number ordered. And I'm just displaying all the values again here, same as above. And I am changing my enabled property to true of the button. If they entered an N, or any other character for that matter, it will then execute the code between the begin and end of the else, so it will display order cancelled. And I'm also disabling my button question 2.2.2 by setting the enabled property to false. This is now the end of this blue if statement here for the yes and no, and this is for the main if statement at the top. And very important, before this end here of my while loop, I have to have my TBL plants.next, else you will fall into an infinite loop. So this button question 2.2.2 is asking us to do an insert. Press pause and try it yourself. So take note that this is now placing the order, and we're going to use the two global variables that contain the plant code as well as the number ordered as it was set in question 2.2.1. And we're going to change the number of delivery field to 0 because it hasn't been delivered yet, it's only been ordered. And there is an example of output. It's just going to display a little message for you. So for this question, remember, we start with .insert and then we have a .post. And the fields that we're making changes to go on the left of the assignment statement. And the invoice number, they said we must change to F2. The plant code was my global variable is plant code, and the number ordered was I_num ordered, which is also the global variable. And then 0 was assigned to the number delivered field. And there is my message just to show that the order has been placed. So before you watch our next lesson, please go and do the OOP question 3 of the same paper. You can download this paper from education.gov.za and go and look at the May-June papers of 2019. Also go to this website for some tips and tricks on how to complete your final exams. Thank you very much for watching Grade 12 IT at STEM Lockdown Digital School. And please follow Africa Teen Gigs on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also look for their videos in their YouTube channel. Hope to see you soon.